Holy shit.
Everyone.
Oh, yeah.
Everyone.
Oh, God. Oh, God. Can we open our fucking books yet?
Not yet.
Welcome to Wildmount. The year is 835 PD, or post-divergence.
Oh my god.
This continent is divided both by jagged terrain and political powers. The Menagerie Coast, a collection of city-states united under the Clovis Concord, monopolizes the southwestern shores and ports of Wildmount, thriving on open trade and cultural freedom. Beyond the Sirios Mountains lies the massive region known as Wynandir, bisected by the Ashkeeper Peaks. Eastern Wynandir houses the expansive wastes and turbulent badlands of Jorhas, overrun with all manner of beasts and terrors, relics from the final battles of the Calamity that ruined that scarred landscape. Northward, you would find the Graying Wildlands, a lawless realm harboring a curse that has kept it unconquered by human hands. However, this story begins in the territory of Western Wynandir, within the boundaries of the Dwendalian Empire. Emerging 13 generations before, the Dwendalian Empire has slowly spread to encompass the surrounding societies of the region, absorbing the peoples of the Zemni Fields and the Marrow Valley, before finally conquering the Julis Dominion and taking the whole of Western Wynandir for the Empire.
There will be no test.
No. This is... let me continue. Under the rule of the current King Bertrand Dwendal, now in his 68th year, most are left to their own devices. You live as you did before. The crown only takes a tithe of what you produce and earn. You follow its laws, worship its gods, and bow to its installed local leadership. In return, denizens of the Empire are protected from the chaotic horrors and shattered evils that stalk the edges of the civilized lands. This accord has led to a prosperous century for the Empire, or at least the political elite. Tensions brew beneath the chafing watch of the Crown's Guard. Every temple is government-owned and run, and worship outside the approved idolatry is met with imprisonment. Rumors of military clashes at the eastern border near Jorhas have many common folk on edge. Our story, however, begins much smaller. Here in the southern reaches of the Marrow Valley, beyond the entry gates of the Wuyun Gorge, lies the small, rural town of Trostenwald. Bordering the blue waters of the Ustalok, this town came to prominence near the turn of this recent century, when the surrounding fertile farmlands were discovered to produce a unique type of grain and wheat, leading to a boom of breweries. When the glut subsided, 3 large families stood triumphant in the local business of fermented delights. Now Trostenwald thrives on their exports of fish, crops, and ale. Here in this sleepy trade stop along the Amber Road, a handful of wandering destinies slowly begin to intersect. We begin in the early hours of the morning on the day of Grissin, in a messy room on the 2nd floor of the Nestled Nook Inn. A bleary-eyed, bruised man in a tattered coat slowly wakens from his lengthy sleep, catching his small, snoring ally curled at the foot of the bed. Liam, if you would like to describe your character, please.
Oh my god, no pressure!
Were we supposed to prepare this? No.
I'm pretty filthy. I have sort of a mess of reddish-brown hair and really filthy road clothes. I wear a long coat that I slept in. I slept about 20 hours last night. Geez, unshaven, a bit of a mess.
So far, you're just talking
What
about
color
current
are your
Liam right now.
eyes? I need visual.
They're blue.
Like it.
There you go.
That's it. It was a rough day yesterday, and that's it.
All right. And your name is?
Oh, Caleb. Caleb Widowguest.
All right. As your smaller friend curls awake, Sam, would you like to describe your character?
Yeah. I am a little goblin girl. I am a goblin. So you know the green skin, the green hair, the yellow eyes, and she wears not great clothes, just like her traveling companion there. She kind of hides in the shadows a lot because she knows goblins aren't kind of welcome in this part, and that's about it. I mean, she's a little skittish, and right now she's probably stirring awake as well, right?
What's your name?
Oh, not the brave.
So Caleb, as you come to consciousness, you glance over and can see slowly snoring and rousing at about the same time. Not's eyes blink open, her kind of slowly groaning face looking over towards you.
Oh, you're finally awake, I see. Oh yeah, motherfuckers. It's on. You were out for quite some time there. Rough day, eh?
Not our best day, no.
No, I mean, usually you're so good at everything, but yesterday you were just... Maybe you needed the sleep, is what you needed.
Thank you.
Well, don't thank me yet. I should probably tell you what happened while you were asleep. I mean, you were asleep for so long, I got bored, frankly. I was going through my pack and reorganizing.
Has anybody seen you?
Well, I mean, many people. I got bored. You've never slept that long, so I left. I went downstairs. I thought I'd do a bit of window shopping, and you know how sometimes I get the itch, you know?
I do. Did you make it back here okay at night?
I'm here, aren't I?
Yeah, you are.
Yeah, I did. But I might have been spotted by a few of the Crown's Guard.
Okay, did you have the mask on?
No, I didn't. But they didn't catch me. So,
Okay.
listen, I'm sorry. Sometimes I get the urge. I've got to take something. You know, I was trying to replenish what you lost yesterday, and I failed.
Well, we discussed coming to a bigger town. It's going to be a little more difficult now. You can't go. It was easier on outskirts. It was easy in farms, but we can't do that here.
I know. I'm sorry. No, I know. You're right. Yep. It was. I just got a little bit, squiggly. That's all.
Okay. Well, I think today you should have the mask on at all times.
Yeah.
And,
good idea, Caleb.
Yeah. It's better when we're working together. If you need to steal something, do it with my help. All right?
Yeah. Of course. Yeah.
Back up the conversation a minute. Thank you, because I would not be alive if you had not. You saved my life, so thank you.
No problem.
Yesterday was really not great.
Yeah. Well, we'll do better today, right?
Sure we will. Are you hungry?
Oh yeah, I'm starving.
At this point, you notice the gentle smell of cooked meats and the promises of mediocre porridge and eggs just barely begins to creep beneath the subtle floor of your room and meet your nostrils.
Well, not. What are we going to do today? I can go down and get breakfast and bring it up here. At least, I don't know. I mean, I'm a little wary of just splashing back into the town right away.
Well, let's go down and get some food. I'll come with you, because, as you said, we're better together. Mm-hmm. And we'll take it from there. You need some books and stuff, right?
Always.
All right, well, that's on the to-do list.
All right, well, let's get something to eat then.
All right, so you prepare yourself with your mask set over?
Yes, yeah. So I have a half a mask that kind of covers my goblin face, and with the hood over, kind of obscures. Maybe it's not a goblin. Maybe it's a little halfling person or something.
Yeah, which is helpful. In the southern, more rural region of the Empire, especially near Felderwin, which is one of the largest kind of tilling and farming areas of the entire empire. There's a very heavy halfling population. And so while this city is not the core of it, I'd say you probably see a larger 20 to 25% of the population here in Trostenwald is halfling. So you can pass off pretty decently as long as you keep away from discerning intent eyes. So the two of you manage to gather your things for the time being, wander down the stairs from the top floor down to the base of the tavern, which the air is already bustling with townsfolk and all manner of travelers preparing to take on the day's responsibilities. Yorda, the 40-something woman barkeep with the shoulder-length blonde hair and weathered skin who you had previously rented your room at the inn from, frantically darts behind the bar while the red-headed barmaid rushes from table to table. It seems that the clientele is a bit more than they were expecting this morning. Yorda yells from behind the bar to the barkeep, "Adeline, 2 more brights and a bit of mush at the corner table." And she kind of looks like, "I'm working on it!" And she runs over and heads back to the kitchen. There's a faint bit of music as 2 kind of slovenly looking musicians in the corner are trying to work for tips with a small hat on the floor that looks like nobody's thrown any coin into it. But the tables are fairly busy, except for maybe 2 that appear to be available between the 2 of you guys, if you'd like to find a seat.
Okay. Sure. Is that easy to do, to find a seat?
Yeah, you walk over to it and you sit down.
It's crazy how that works.
It's a D&D works, yeah.
What do we roll for?
You sit down, and due to the chaos that ensues around you, it takes a little while for Adeline, the red-headed barmaid, to come by, and she kind of scoots by the table. "I'm terribly sorry. What can I get you?"
Meat if you have it, but if you don't, that's okay too. Potatoes, or if bacon if it's on the menu. But really anything.
I can get
if
you all 3. It's fine. What you want
A trust for each of us, please.
for breakfast?
Yes.
I like you. All right, 2 trusts and a bunch of meats. Be right back. And she rushes off. She kind of pulls her hair back and ties it as she goes into the kitchen, kind of getting ready for the midst of chaos. While you guys have a moment there at the table, you can hear conversation muttering around you, and you have a brief bit of privacy to discuss.
No, yes, I need books. That's true. But did you find drink yesterday?
I have a little left in my flask.
How much?
Just a couple swigs.
So that's also on the to-do list, then, yeah?
I mean, if you don't want me to get too jittery, yeah.
All right. Okay. So we'll do that first. All right.
All right.
All right.
Short time passes before the 2 platters are rushed over and scattered across the front of your table with a clattering pile of meats there set for you. A little bit placed on the side because you might need, especially with the look on your face, the Adeline kind of gives you a glance, goes, "Put something in your belly."
Thank you.
Comes back and slides 2 trusts to you.
Remove my little mask, and then just go.
I take the last piece.
As you guys are partway through your meal, let's see, Caleb, you notice out of the corner of your eye, a gentleman entered the door looking kind of meek. Middle age, looks work-hardened. He has kind of a heavy chin beard that is kind of unkept and a bit wild, but his eyes are warm. He's holding his hat in his grip, and he scans the room with an eager glance before his face brightens and begins to push his way across the room, kind of in your direction, it looks like.
Oh.
He scoots over towards your table, and as you're about to turn and kind of see what he's about,
Putting my hand on my purse.
he pivots to the table next to you instead. He turns to you 3.
We've just been sitting here this whole time.
Yeah. You've met this man the day before, Ronaldo, the fisherman, who you had aided. And as he approaches, he goes, "You, might I sit, please?"
Of course, take a seat.
Okay.
What's that?
And as he sits down in his chair, I would ask each of you to please describe yourselves, please, starting with you, Laura.
Oh, well, okay. Well, I'm just, a little blue tiefling, that's all, with blue hair. And, I'm wearing like a pretty cute dress, that's all. And, I'm having having a good time, you know? We're just having a good time here at breakfast.
All right. And you?
Yeah. I'm, simple girl, simple needs, just wearing like kind of nice baggy clothes, some monk vestiges. They're in kind of like nice blues and grays. You notice I have a blue sash around my belt. Got a nice shave kind of going on, little undercut. Looks like maybe I put on makeup like 2 days ago, and I'm like, yeah, it's still holding up. It's fine. I can work with that.
What's your name?
Oh, we'll get to it.
Okay.
And thank you. And Travis, describe yourself, please.
Yeah, I'm here too.
Oh, what?
I'm a half orc, sitting here in kind of beat up leathers. Have a big scar across my face. Green skin tone, and kind of got some like piecemeal armor put together and stuff. But my name's Ford.
You're very handsome. I just need to tell you that.
Thank you, appreciate that.
Which, as Ronaldo sits down, clutching his hat still in his hand, says, and I thank you for your time, Ford. And I apologize, I forget your names.
Beauregard.
Beauregard and
Jester.
Jester, thank
Yes.
you. You all came when no one else would yesterday, and because of you, my daughter is still alive.
Oh yeah, sorry for being like a pessimistic asshole, by the way, when you first came into town.
Oh, that's okay.
I'm
We
not
live
used to
by it
things
in
like
these parts.
turning out good. So
You do well this side of the empire. Anyway,
yes.
I won't keep you, but we spoke yesterday, and I didn't have much to give you, and sent you away with nothing but my gratitude. But I've been asking around the other fishermen in our lockspan, and we've put together a little bit of coin for your troubles. So, and he turns his cap over onto the table, and this catches your attention. You hear this clattering of coin. Your eyes kind of glance over, especially you, Not, and watch as he leaves this pile of what looks to be mostly copper and silver pieces with a couple of glimmers of gold. And as soon as it clatters across the hardwood table here in the center of the tavern, other faces begin to turn and kind of gather attention as to what's happening over here in the back edge. And he kind of takes his cap back and pushes it forward towards all of you. It's kind of dirty. You can see cracked and very, very calloused fingers kind of shoving it in your direction before taking his hat and placing it back over his head.
Did they
That's
all,
so cool.
those coins went all over the floor?
All over the table.
The table, okay.
I hope it's helpful, but thank you.
Yeah. No. Oh wait,
We can't accept this, right? I mean, it's too much.
we're supposed to like at least say that, right? And then like still accept it, right?
I think you're supposed to do it if you say it.
Well, I mean, he did go around to a bunch of people. That was a lot of work on his part. I would hate to make him go back to all of those people and give it back to each individual person.
Fine.
If he didn't keep a ledger, we wouldn't want to do that. It's rude not to accept a gift, right? It's rude not to accept a gift, right?
It's rude not to accept
I
it.
would hope that is the case. Anyway, thank you very much. I'm sorry for getting in your way. And he stands up and gives you all a nod and kind of rushes out of the tavern, a little embarrassed by all the attention that's now placed on him by the other patrons. And as he leaves, everyone kind of goes back to their business. A couple of wandering eyes just starting to count what coins are there as you slowly mitt them in your direction.
Oh, divide it up.
Okay. How much?
It comes to, there are 4 gold pieces amongst the pile,
Okay.
22 silver, and 48 copper pieces.
Gold, 22 silver.
Can I clock
How many?
the room, see who else is
Copper?
watching their
Perception
count?
check. Huh?
How many copper?
48 copper.
Is this the
48.
first roll?
First roll of the campaign.
Oh, come on.
Natural 20.
And that's how you started. All right.
So I'm leaving it to you to do that counting. Which is really hard for me personally, but there you go.
How do you split up 4 gold? We have 4 gold and there's only 3 of us.
I don't know.
Well, I actually did pretty good at that card game, so you can have mine.
Oh.
Yeah.
I
Wow.
will. Okay.
So 2 for each of us. That's great.
Oh, that's a good 1 for you, 2 for me, 2 for... Oh, wait. No, wait. No, that doesn't make sense.
She's your treasurer?
This is gonna
No,
go
man.
really great.
Okay.
New day, man.
It's hard not being the treasurer.
I'll give 2 to Jester.
Sweet.
1 for you, 1 for me.
Thanks.
And then 22 silver, that's...
Tell you what, you do that math while
You
things
guys
are
got it.
happening.
I'll let you know. You guys
While you're
go.
counting this out and figuring out the division of your gains,
Episode 4.
4. You glance about. You're narrowing your orcish eyes across the room, and you can see 2 other tables. There are some gentlemen who are peeking over, and as soon as they meet your gaze, they go right back to their business and completely shrink away. There are 2 gentlemen, or I'd say there's a man and a hooded figure at a table immediately adjacent to you. The man looks rather filthy, his hair a bit unkempt, and he's trying to just finish his drink. However, the smaller, kind of halfling-looking figure is just glaring intently and is slowly leaning in the direction of the table.
That's creepy. Fucking disgusting. God. I think we have people watching us.
Who is watching us?
Well, just take a look right over there.
Don't arouse suspicion, but did you hear all that coin hit that table, Caleb?
I did. It's on the table, though, so I think on the table it will stay.
Yes, but we could follow them out. We could do the money pot. We could run rat food. We could do Prince and the Pauper to get it from them. We could try spider eyes. Any of those could work
Are
to
you
get
guys staying here?
This blue-skinned tiefling suddenly leans over toward you at the table.
Don't move.
7 silver
Don't-
for you.
Don't move. Tieflings can only see movement.
And 16 copper.
I don't think
It's
that's
very
true.
true. We have a hard time seeing things that aren't moving. It's very true. But I can hear you. You should take a bath. You know they have showers here. It's possible.
What now?
You bathe yourself in water.
No, I've bathed before. Yeah, I know what a bath
Because you
is.
smell really bad and it's wafting over this direction. I'm just letting you know. I would hate if I smelled that bad and someone didn't tell me. You know?
I have only just met you.
Hi, I'm Jester.
Hi, I'm Caleb.
Nice to meet you, Caleb. How much silver did I just get?
7!
Woo!
And 16 copper! Aren't you all jealous?
Morning.
Morning! Morning.
Make a perception check, Beauregard and Jester.
Oh.
Okay. Hang on, I have to put my...
Whoa!
Are you checking your D&D Beyond specs?
I am. I'm adding my gold and my...
22.
It's very important. And...
I haven't even flipped over my character sheet yet.
Oh man.
This is crazy.
19.
Okay.
I'm flipping.
The somewhat meek female halfling who is now suddenly very reserved and not as filthy as the human compatriot that she keeps, seems less and less halfling the more you glance in her direction. The ears are folded inward but elongated, the tinges of green to the skin, and with the little words that have poked through her lips, you can see what appear to be teeth more jagged than expected of the half-folk.
I just shout over and I say, good morning, in halfling.
I know halfling, right?
Yeah.
Yes. So I'll shout back. Top of the morning to you.
Would you like a coffee? Seems like I'd love to buy a coffee.
We've got free coffee. Yep. I'll take it. Sure. Thank you.
Being mighty fucking friendly, they were looking at our coin.
Why can't they have been looking at me? Maybe they were looking at me.
I didn't think of that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe they were looking at you.
I don't
As
wanna think of
Jester said, you're handsome.
Just
Yes?
not.
He said jest.
I just thought you said my name is all.
Oh, I said your name.
Oh.
Oh, they might have said your name too.
Never mind.
I don't
never
know.
mind. We're good. Could I get another trust over here, please?
Two, please, right away.
Eventually, Adeline comes by and brings 2 fresh troughs to the table and kind of glancing about at the unique tension in the air right here. Would you like anything as well?
Oh, yes. Lots of baked goods if you have them, please.
Pork belly if you have it.
I don't think I've seen you eat anything other than pastries.
I really like them.
I'm kind of concerned for your well-being. It's fine. I'm not that concerned. Eat whatever you want.
Thank you.
I'll have a bacon, some, whatever.
All right, pork it is. I'll be right back. She rushes off to the kitchen. You guys just continue to awkwardly stare at each other.
I'm going to put my hand up and say quietly to Nott, the money pot is not for them. It's not for them. It's for farmers. Okay?
Yeah, you're right. You're
Not
right.
these 3.
Yeah, that was stupid. Yeah.
Did you notice some whispering?
With your perception rolls earlier, yes.
But I said it really quietly.
She rolled a 22.
But she can hear my little whisper. I mean, I
No, you
did
heard
this.
the whisper. You're not sure what the words are.
Okay, but I can see that they're definitely whispering about us.
Being
Yes.
mysterious.
Okay, cool.
In halfling, I'll say to whatever Bo.
Bo. Bo for sure. It works.
Are you in town for business or pleasure?
Can I inside check him? See what he's hiding?
Make an insight check.
Okay. Okay. Oh my god. What's my
What
insight?
is he
I gotta
saying?
remember.
What? I mean, you are a girl. What are she saying? Shit, that's really hard to remember now.
You're asking me what I'm saying.
Yeah, what did you just say?
13.
13? I mean, seems to be genuine, hard to read through all the wrappings, shadow, and the hood still obscuring the face.
Are you cold?
Are you at the? Do you have the mask on right now?
I think I do.
Okay.
Yeah, it's this kind of porcelain covering that has painted lips, and it's a little
really cool.
It's a little unsettling.
I mean, I'm sorry not to be blunt, but you know, it's pretty obvious goblins are not welcome strolling about in town.
She's a goblin.
Yeah, but you don't have to make a big thing of it, all right? There could be people who don't.
No, that's right. She's my companion. She's my friend. There's nothing to make a big deal about. That's why she's wrapped up. Just leave it, please.
I didn't ask why she was wrapped up.
I know. We're not making a big deal out of it. You're making a big deal out of it.
Somebody asked why she
No,
was wrapped
nobody
up.
asked.
Somebody said the words, this is Liam, why are you all wrapped up?
Oh.
No, oh, I asked if she was cold.
That's
She had a
concern.
hood
That's
and-
concern.
As Caleb finishes oversharing,
That's like, it's so over.
Those old times, man. That was a different universe, different life.
That was Earth 3.
at this point, there is a bit of a commotion towards the entrance of the tavern. 2 shadows step into the doorway of the nearish noonday sun. The figures, one kind of eclipsing the other from behind, begin to step in. You notice one of them begins to step from table to table, kind of glancing about with a sort of grace to the movement. The other staying a few feet behind. Talis, if you'd like to describe your character, please.
Oh, wait, what?
I didn't think we were gonna leave so soon. I know.
Neither did I.
Didn't either.
But here we are. A lavender. Damn it, Travis. A lavender tiefling with red eyes and curled, very pierced, extremely ostentatious horns that are just pierced with little gems and little baubles. He's got a tattoo that seems to be running up the side of his face, a kind of peacock tattoo that goes off into his very ostentatious, ridiculous, overblown robes that he wears, and his 2 swords and pouch dangling at the side of his hips. He's very, very broad in his dress.
So literal and figurative peacock.
Oh yes. One of your characters? No, I know mine. Who knew?
And as this tiefling darts from table to table, a few feet behind, you see.
Wait, did you say your name?
No, I didn't say my name.
No, it hasn't come up yet.
Okay, so there is a woman behind him
taller than your average lass. She's very, very, very pale skin. She has, her hair is black that starts to turn white as it gets longer. It's matted, it's dreaded, it's braided. Her clothes are a bit tattered, but just sort of, she's a bit of a mess. And she has 2 different color eyes. One of them is sort of a light greenish blue, and the other is a violet color. And she's very sort of, very standoffish, hunchy, arms folded.
You watch as these figures slowly move from table to table, the tiefling engaging in some distant conversation, and then leaving a slip of paper, and then walking to the next table, gauging the atmosphere, not leaving a slip of paper and quickly moving on, and then eventually your eyes meet what looks to be 2 tables with a very motley crew of individuals that are both kind of awkwardly avoiding their own tension and currently trying to figure you out.
Can I tell where are they in the dispensement of the coin? Can I tell they have a little coin on them? Did I catch any of that?
They've completed
it,
distributing it, so
yeah.
you don't see any coin, unfortunately.
Well, I don't believe I've ever seen a group of people more in need of a good time in my entire life. Molly Tiefling of the Fletchling and Moondrop Traveling Carnival of Curiosities. If there was ever a group of people that needed a good time to go out, have a laugh, see things that you have never seen before, and my God, take my word for it, 1 month's time, people will be buying your ale to hear the tale of what you saw at the Traveling Carnival of Curiosities this night.
We saw your tent going up.
You did?
We did.
We were actually gonna go without the flyer,
Yeah.
but like, now we also have a flyer.
It's just 5 copper. At steel, it's 5 silver. It would be a steal. 5 gold, worth every penny. But if you've got the 5 copper to spend, we would happily have you all.
Oh shit.
Do you perform?
I'm less of a performer and more of an intermediary for these parts. I do on occasion perform. I can read fortunes on occasion.
I was going to ask if you read fortunes. Can you do one now?
I knew you were going to ask that.
Oh my gosh, you're so smart.
That's what they told me.
This guy, he knows everything.
I don't think.
I'm going to sit down at the table.
Okay. He goes and sits down at this table, finishing his presentation. One of the barmaids kind of comes up to you and kind of looks up. You standing almost a solid 7 inches taller than her. As Adeline goes, miss, can I get you a drink?
Yes, can I have a drink, please? Just some ale.
Coming right up. Any preferences for the families? Bombach?
Stay clear of Bombach, they're dicks.
It's kind of true. Just a big.
Hasseldorf then.
Yeah.
All right, I'll be right back. And she wanders off.
Well, who has coin for a fortune?
Do you know my name?
What is your name?
Jester.
I know your name now.
What is your name?
Oh, my name is Molly to my friends, and we're friends now, aren't we? Oh, pleasure.
Molly?
Molly. Look at this guy.
Molly Mock, Molly for short. This is Yasha, she's the charm.
Hi, Yasha.
Yasha. Hello. Yasha.
Now, would anyone like a fortune read?
I would love one.
Do you have coin?
Yes. How much do you want?
2 copper.
2 copper. Okay, I just got some copper. Here you go.
Mark down your 2 copper.
I am taking this in. All right. I'm going to try and do this.
Okay.
Oh my gosh, really?
You doing so?
So, as he pulls out a small set of cards and begins to shuffle them at the table. Go ahead and roll an insight check.
He's really quite good. You all should line up and get your fortunes told.
Let's do a 16 there.
Okay, so you get just the brief conversation here. You get a pretty solid read to the excitability, the eagerness, the exorbitant interest in just getting in your face that this person wants. Any fortune you tell would probably suffice. Go ahead and roll a sleight of hand check as well.
Look at this fucking game.
Also 16.
Whoa.
Yeah, and you feel pretty confident that her eyes are locked onto your eyes at the moment and not the deck as you set up a proper reading. And the cards are shuffled, they're set, you place them before you, and you may give your fortune.
I'm gonna just keep my eyes open for any tricks of the hand, sleight of hand type
Make
trick.
a perception check.
Okay. Perception. 14.
14. All right, everything seems pretty above board.
Oh. Your first card, the Silver Dragon. This is good. You're pure. You're of virtue. You are a worthwhile and wonderful human being, obviously, or creature of some repute.
That's what everyone always tells me.
It's true. And heading towards the anvil.
What is that?
And is a destiny forged. There's something bright and adventurous in your future.
Wow. You know, we did just defeat a really big snake, so maybe there's even bigger things coming up, you know?
Can I make another roll?
Sure.
Ashley
Sleight of hand.
confirmed worst hype man ever.
19.
Yeah, easy enough. Even discerning eyes at the table, you are at the top of your game.
The serpent card appears. Of course you did.
Oh my gosh! Look at that! How did you even do that?
I saw all the cards. I'm just simply a vessel of higher powers. DM.
While everybody's watching this shit happen, may I cast Detect Magic in the room?
You may. You kind of lean back and subtly begin a brief muttering of an incantation. Your fingers kind of wash through the air with a faint silver gleam across your fingertips. Nothing magical shows up in the immediate vicinity.
Will you ask the cards if I'm going to find them?
He's bullshitting her.
If you're going to find her,
Him.
give me a little bit more. Who is this him that you're looking for?
I'm looking for my dad.
14?
You fumble for a second, but the card still finds its way through without issue.
Pushing through. The eye card pulls up. You've already found the clue you're looking for, you just don't know what it is yet.
Really?
Apparently. That's what the cards are saying.
Oh, wow.
It's right in front of you.
Does it say how long ago I found it? Because that's...
Sadly, I don't have that sort of specifics. That's much more expensive.
Oh, that's going to take a lot of thinking.
Well, you find us at the show, you'll find my tent, and I'm happy to give you a more complicated reading.
I can't wait. It's going to be so much fun.
So much fun.
Yasha, at this point, the barmaid, Adeline, comes up and hands you the ordered ale.
Thank you, my lady.
On the house.
On the house. Is our good
Very
fortune
kind
today.
of you.
Do you perform the circus too?
No, I do not. I just, I put it up.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
You're like
The tent.
a roadie.
Yeah.
It's a big tent. It would take a lot of work.
I put up the stage. I move things around. I'm very strong, but I don't do anything in the show.
Some of our acts are a little complicated with performers who are not of the traditional variety. Can make some of the locals get a little shifty, if you know, and it's good to have a few people around who are capable of keeping issues contained.
Yeah, is that why it
frighten
says
people.
no admittance to the elderly? You
Oh,
don't want to
yes.
deal with those Riley
Or
elderly.
the ill.
Or the ill, yeah. Why no elderly, though? Ill kind of makes sense, but elderly?
We cannot be held responsible for anything that may happen to someone who's ill or infirmed. It is such a exciting, impressive show.
We've had people die watching it.
Really?
Yeah, it's
from
that
excitement?
exciting. Just from excitement.
Wait, they died in the show or from watching?
Yeah, just like heart attack.
Wow.
Just from getting so
It
excited.
can be
I
a
guess.
lot.
Oh, man.
Rat fire.
We gotta get so wasted.
When is it? How long is it? When is it?
Well, it is actually the day of Grissom, and your first show is tonight.
His first show is tonight.
Well, we have plans tonight.
Hey!
Do you stinky people want to come with us?
Kaylee, we don't have any plans tonight. I guess we could go along. I wouldn't mind seeing.
It'll be fun.
Or you could stay here and buy beer for the people who do see the show so that you can hear all about it and pay
Yeah.
more.
Yeah, we can go.
This is going to be so much fun.
Yeah, it sounds like a good night. Yeah.
Look at all these friends we're making here. This is a good city.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, yeah.
Well, you are all the most charming people I've met in, yes, I finished my beer. Well, we better be getting on.
Yep, nice to meet you. Oh, you're so wonderful.
Charm, pure charm. See you tonight!
And as they get up and leave you, Yasha just downs her entire ale, slams on the table, and both of them walk out, passing a couple more flyers at off tables, and then exit out into the rest of the day's sun beyond your sight.
She was awesome.
She didn't say much.
That's why I liked her.
Really, really cool.
Yeah.
Did you see that cool thing she had going on on her chin?
That was rad.
That's interesting. I wish I would have thought of something like that. Today.
Yeah, I mean, you could maybe do something like that in time. Just like wait till maybe.
Yeah, she doesn't know that I'm coming.
you
I
did-
can't do
yeah,
it
you
tonight.
no.
Yeah. Wow. Cool. What do you guys want to do now?
Was he using magic?
I don't know.
Are you? You're superstitious. Yeah.
No.
Okay.
No, not superstitious
You-
at all.
Sure.
Why?
I mean, like kind of what he was working in was kind of like he was kind of doing a little shit. Like he's a smart guy.
By the way,
He's a
did
smart
you open
guy.
your Christmas present for me?
No, not yet, no.
You should go open it, like as
Right
it's
now? Okay,
yes.
I'll be right back.
Go grab the bag.
I'll
no,
do,
but I'm
I'll do it on the
serious.
break. I'll get it on the break.
All right.
Hey, Matt,
Yes?
Dungeon Master. Are they're wearing what they described? They're not wearing any cloaks or anything right now, are they?
She has a small, actually both of them have small cloaks kind of over the shoulders.
Do I
Beauregard.
recognize those cloaks?
No, you do not.
Okay.
What?
Okay.
Why would you recognize the cloaks?
Maybe I saw something. I don't know.
What?
No.
I didn't see them last night?
No.
Okay.
Whoa.
Okay, interesting.
Mysteries.
Also, for the record, there was nothing magic about that. Maybe he's good at reading people, but that was not magic.
Oh,
How do you know?
Caleb knows everything about magic. He's been even teaching me some. He's real good. You should see him. He can.
No.
Caleb, are you
Wait.
going to go to the academy?
That's silly.
Why?
He
But-
could if he wanted to. He's really good at magic. He can make a cat appear and disappear whenever he wants.
Really?
Is that true?
A cat?
You watch as just beneath the table, this kind of orange, kind of patchy tabby kind of leaps up onto the begins to move.
Oh shit. What's his name?
Oh,
Or her name?
well, it is a he.
Okay.
This is my cat Frumpkin.
Frumpkin.
Frumpkin, yes.
Oh, can I call him Lumpy?
You can call him Frumpkin.
Look at this Lumpy!
Oh.
Made in England.
That was a little show gift from Marisha. So this is Frumpkin. He's here.
That's so great.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's not all he can do. Caleb, tell him all the stuff you can do. It's
You know
really
why?
impressive.
Sometimes less is more.
I can
You
do
know.
things too.
With magic?
Yeah.
Like what?
Like,
Not to me, not to me.
Like, oh
Yeah.
gosh. Okay.
Actually, these both.
I'm going to use thaumaturgy, and I'm going to make all the windows in the place like open up really fast, like crash open.
Okay, you watch as 4 of the nearby windows slam open with a sudden burst of wind, and all the various bits of torchlight that light the deeper, kind of more shadowed corners of the room suddenly darken and flicker. The music suddenly comes to a stop. Everyone kind of holds their position and kind of glances over to the table where you're all sitting.
Jester, don't you remember us talking about keeping a low profile?
You're right, I'm sorry. I use thaumaturgy and I close all the windows.
They all slam shut a second time. The light flickers and then brightens back to its normal place. Everyone.
Ta-da!
Yeah! Yeah!
Come see me tonight at the carnival. I'm really good.
One really crotchety looking guy in his like early 50s with a super underbite, probably missing most of his teeth, just goes.
I tell telepathically tell Frumpkin to jump up and sit in the lap of the woman in the monk's robes who just made a big scene, and hopefully keep you occupied with being kinked.
Okay. As soon as you sit down, Pumpkin leaps into your lap and starts like purring and rubbing up against your hand.
Hey, buddy. Oh. Look at this kitty. I think he likes me.
Sure, right now.
Is
he
this a
likes you.
real cat or is
Oh,
this like
no.
a fake cat?
What do you mean a fake cat?
Like a magic cat?
He's both a real cat and a magic cat.
Is he an illusion cat?
Do you feel him?
Could you put him over there?
Are you allergic to frumpkins?
Well, just cats.
Oh no!
But he's a magic cat. How can you be allergic to magic
Yes.
cats?
I'm pretty sure he's a real fucking cat.
He's one of those hyperallergenic magic cats.
I mean,
I don't know what the 5th edition rules are for.
For allergens?
as far as you know right now, yeah, he's having an actual allergic attack. A minor one, but.
I walk away a little bit from Ford.
Okay.
Well, you're both magic users then?
Yeah.
And
It's
so
really
is the larger fellow?
Well, I mean, a little.
Yeah. I mean, he's learning. He's getting really good at it.
I'm trying to learn more.
Yeah. You should have seen him. He disguised himself the other day, and it was like,
Thanks, Chester.
Yeah.
She's better at it than I am. We're trying to make our way up to the academy to, get a little bit more learning done.
well, he's going to learn. I'm not going to go to the academy.
Yeah, this academy place kind of keeps getting brought up.
Well, yeah, it's the place to be.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, you,
What's it? What? I'm sorry. What academy are we talking about?
Solstice Academy, you know.
The what? Solstice?
Soltris.
Solstice?
Solstice.
Yeah, that's one.
Soul Train Academy.
Yeah, that one.
Yeah, it's a very fancy place.
You
They
know.
teach
it.
you magic.
I have heard of it.
And you have arcane talents as well.
Yeah.
Why?
How long have you had yours?
That's a tricky question. I studied when I was younger, and then I gave it up for a while. I've picked it up again recently, so it's all book learned though.
Wow. That's cool.
This was a good way to go for your first, like,
A freaking cat.
cat. This is kind of therapeutic. It's kind of making me feel better. Just about life in general.
He reads lots of books, Caleb does. He's very smart. In fact, should we go looking for more right now?
I mean, in a little while.
Can I see one of your books?
Well, and I sort of pull apart the lapels of my coats. I have a book in what modern day people might think of as holster straps, but there's a book hanging here, and a book hanging here.
Ancient people would call it a holster as well.
They got gats. Bap, bap, bap.
A little busier.
The books are right here. I have these, but these are family heirlooms, so I don't share those. But no, I like to read.
Yes.
That's all.
Okay.
And I'm a bit of a self-starter, so I have to find. Good luck at the academy. That's Rafa here.
Well,
Do you know
it's-
anything about it? I mean, because we're just going up.
We know it's
beginner's
like
luck.
rich people that go there. We have to find a way to get you in.
Right.
Yeah.
All I know is how hard it is to get in.
So stepping in to the interior of the tent, the rocky floor filled with grass and dirt and various just flattened groundscape on the outskirts of the Ustalok. You can see a thick, heavy tarp-like material hitting the very edge where the heavy dark blue cloth hangs from the sides of the tent you're within. You can see where the seating is guided across the floor. And there, already in a very packed room, you see a few dozen townsfolk that have begun to gather in a semicircle. There is the entrance flap of the tent where you guys are walking in. As soon as you walk in, you can see a central pillar, a heavy column of wood, a tree that has been completely rounded off on all sides, held aloft to carry the top of the canopy of the tent itself. And across the way, you can see a larger flap tent that is currently closed that appears to be probably the performer's entrance. You can see above you 4 hanging lanterns that kind of glow with, seems like a flicker of light, but the pattern to them is consistent, meaning it's not probably natural flame. Children and people are beginning to mash around the sides, and the space along the edges of the interior of this tent is starting to get a little cramped. Where do you guide them, Yasha?
Did you guys want to sit in the front row?
That's what we were told
Yeah,
is the
really
best seat in
good
the
seats.
house.
Sit in the front row.
So there's like, if you consider a semicircle pattern here, there's, if you're entering, you can go front to the right, front to the left, front to the center, and anywhere in between. Where would you like to be currently sitting?
Front and center? Or do you want to be on the sides?
Front and center.
Take him to the front and center.
Front and center, okay.
I'm going to keep my hand on my meager purse for the evening.
Okay.
As soon as I sit down, I'm going to pull out my sketchbook and draw the moon and the shadow card that Molly showed me.
Okay.
Moon shadow.
As we're walking over, I say, "Hey, Yasha," because I was kind of totally on your shoulder. Heard you talking about my friend, Jester. Yeah.
I didn't mean anything by it. I just.
No, dude. No. She's never mentioned a significant other, so I mean.
Oh, I'm not looking for anything. I just.
Will you hold me through the show?
Oh my god.
Cradle me?
I mean, that's an extra charge. We do that, though.
How much?
Well, it's an extra 5 gold pieces.
Gold?
5 gold?
These arms are worth a lot.
It's a very swaddling hug. You've never experienced anything like it.
It's gonna be.
The full experience.
It's the best way to see the show if that's how you want it.
I'll give you 5 silver just to have your shrug to sit on, so my butt's not on the floor.
I don't take off my shrug.
Oh, sorry.
How about you just keep your money and I'll put you in a chair and I'll just watch over your weapons?
Okay.
Okay.
Hey, Yasha.
So she places you on the ground, as there are no chairs to hold you.
On the ground, I mean, because there's no chairs.
Oh, there's no chairs?
No, it's open floor.
I was picturing like benches. That's okay.
There's no benches? Oh, fuck.
Where are they going to transport benches from place to place?
Yeah, no.
That's a good point.
That's a good point. Cross-legged on the
Worthwhile
ground it
carnival?
is.
I don't know.
Well, sorry, you have the Fletching and Moon drop
Bring
to
a
deal with.
cushion from home like a regular person.
So as the music has died down and everyone begins to kind of crowd and whisper to themselves, eventually it begins to quiet a bit, everyone having their seats. The familiar sound of the fiddle begins to play, and everyone quickly gets quiet, begins to come to a hush. The music seems sourceless in the interior of the tent. Everyone begins to look around to see where it may come from. You hear points of hushed looks pointing off in different areas, and at the top of the tent you see, seeming to stretch and fall, like a slow drop of water. The man in red you saw earlier descends from the top of the tent, but now dressed head to toe in a matching deep blue outfit and full makeup, to where he just sort of appears out of the canopy of the tent. He hangs from a rope by one foot. It's wrapped around and kind of clutched as his foot catches the edge, playing his violin ever so slowly as he carefully descends, and then at the last moment releases the rope and lands on his feet, continuing the music he's playing. He slowly spins as the longer-haired elf leader of the earlier parade that you saw, the one that had barked back briefly to your 2 new friends over here, enters the tent from the distant flaps, the performer's entrance. His head now sporting that same tall hat, flopping backwards at the apex. He extends his arms, removing the hat, and takes a deep bow as the crowd begins to clap. Ladies and gentlemen of Trostenwald, I am Carnival Master Gustav Fletching, and allow me to welcome you to the Fletching and Moondrops Traveling Carnival of Curiosities. I ask you, each and every one of you, you hear some children giggle as he kind of makes eye contact, grant us your imaginations this eve for but a trifle bit of time, and allow us to reveal a realm of laughter, mystery, danger, and beauty. I see you've already met Desmond, and he gestures towards the man in all blue who's playing the fiddle. He'll be part of our story tonight. So keep a wily eye for the shifting fool. But first, I tell you a tale of two sisters of the Fae. As Desmond slowly leaves the tent, you see two armored guards by where he is now have entered, to the Crown's Guard, of kind of stepping by the entrance where you walked in and kind of watch him pass. Lost without form into the mazes of the underworld. There, where the body would break, they found a teacher in a mystical serpent. And the gift they received was the ability to bend with this maze that captured them and slither their way back to the surface to reclaim their place in the world. May I present to you Mona and Yuli, the Knot Sisters. As he slowly backs through the performer's entrance, the two halfling dancers you saw earlier in the full-body suits emerge from behind the carnival master as he discreetly exits. They sport serpentine makeup, scales affixed to the sides of their face and arms. Approaching the central spire, the pole that holds the tent up. One immediately leaps onto the shoulders of the other, bending her back a near impossible amount, creating this humanoid sculpture that you see the front row kind of cringe at the idea of the pain that would cause an average individual. But these halfling women are very nimble and able to create almost a single form out of two bodies. Their rigid form becomes fluid to the eye as they move and shift to the music. The violin now sourceless once again, not seeing where this Desmond is placed, but they seem to move as it picks up speed.
I was expecting more Ringling Brothers, actually.
Suddenly, the top one folds over and slams into the ground, tumbling across the center in a wild display of physical control. The two of them begin to tangle and wrap like two battling snakes, their bodies seemingly disconnecting from the rigid halfling forms you had seen, and you swear for a moment becoming serpentine-like as they intertwine around the base of this pole. It's beautiful and violent at the same time. It's off-putting. And watch as they curl around the base of this pole. The lights above begin to become a dull greenish blue and get darker and darker, presenting this imagery of the underworld. One by one, they silently tell a tale of struggle, crawling across one and the other, one at a time, using their serpentine-like forms as this extending ladder, folding over each other as they use every muscle in their body to cling around this pole and ladder step up like a snake. It's a very strange but alluring sight, and you can't help but notice that you forget that these are two halfling girls, and you find yourself pulled into this wordless story they tell of climbing back to their place, to the surface, towards the dark sky of lightless blue cloth, as the baubles that contain the interior light of the tent begin to glow brighter and brighter. Their climbing become more fevered. The two of them, arm into arm, leg into leg, rolling up and swirling, until eventually at the apex they grab each other's arms around the pole before spinning downward, back to back, legs outward with a rapid pace, the music coming to a full crescendo. Like a maypole, they both curl and twirl and then tumble to the ground before the audience with a flourish, arms in the air, and the audience erupts in applause. As they both begin to back away with smiles on their faces, nodding to each other, Gustav emerges once more from the performer's flap. The fool appears at the back entrance again, taking an ominous tune with his violin this time. His outfit, no longer blue, but deep set black. The hanging lights darken once again as Gustav takes the center stage. In a flash, beyond the ash, the gods all went and gone. The darkness came to grasp, reclaim, and suffocate the dawn. Suddenly, out of the darkness behind him, a burst of flame lights the room. But from that night, a burning light doth keep back shadow's bane. Her strength to fight will set alight the morning sun again. Ladies and gentlemen, I present to you Orna, the Fire Fairy. And Gustav leaves the tent once more. As you watch, a pair of metallic fans, alight with flame, now frame the beautiful woman of short red hair you had seen before in the procession. Gustav slinks into the darkness and vanishes as Orna spins in a hypnotic twirl, her simple dress of golds and reds almost glowing in the firelight around her, the flickering of the flames giving her the visage of a warrior goddess battling the dark that surrounds. The frenzied fiddle of the fool picks up as she twirls the fans in her grasp, her face stoic and graceful simultaneously. The hush awe of the audience fills the air, watching this magnificent warrior strike at the shadows. The lights above flickering brighter with each spin and dive, banishing the shadows from the room. She matches the pace of the music, drawing to a crescendo and leaps and barrel turns that climaxes with her striking a powerful pose as the lights rocket to a victorious luminescence. Once again, the crowd goes crazy.
This is really different than the most carnivals that I've gone to.
Very artistic.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We get that.
Gustav enters as she exits with a bow, the fans flickering out. He enters clapping at Orna. A low drumbeat begins to beat in the distance as the fiddle grows tense once more. Even as the sun would rise anew, bellowing roars will quake the lands of Jorhas and beyond. Terrible beasts, now freed from their dark masters, scattered into our world. A terrible, guttural roar shakes the room, followed by the sound of grinding and dragged chains. From behind the performer's flap, the half-orc Bo, who you had met earlier, the breaker, and the fool, who is now still playing the fiddle, yet the bow of it continues to go on its own as he drags the other chain with his arm wrapped around his forearm. The two of them pull something through the flap. It swells, and from beneath it is revealed an enormous creature of green, scaled, slimy-looking skin and a corpulent form. Large toad-like legs frame a rotund torso and muscular arms that are manacled and pulling him in. It fights and struggles against the taut chains as he's pulled further and further towards the center of the tent, but is held in place by the two men. It roars a second time. The front row immediately pulling back and screaming. You hear kids begin to cry. A handful of townsfolk shoot to their feet, grasping their children in fear, preparing to run.
Have we ever seen anything like this before?
Yeah, what's it look like?
Well, he just described what it looked like.
Looks like a...
You know, by name.
It's corpulent, frog-legged.
You have not seen this creature
Nothing
before.
like this.
Okay.
Gustav continues, seemingly unflinched by its approach. The devil toad crawls hungrily
Okay.
But what does it look like?
into the land of the free folk, lording over nightmares, as they say, And what truth lies behind the eyes of this beast? What would be learned when the guiding heart of innocence pierces the hateful soul and brings it to see beauty for the first time? I present to you the vivid voice of Toya. And as Gustav backs away, the devil toad struggling against the chains, a soft, faint voice begins to slowly emanate from the air.
That's not right. That's not right. Someone shoot
Eyes previously locked on the frightening creature now seek a source and find atop a platform within the chamber, high up on a small platform set against the apex of the pole. A young dwarven girl, maybe 12 years of age. Her braided golden hair clasped in her hands at her side, a white dress obscuring her feet. She sings with a mystifying, mature voice that pierces your heart with joy, unexpectedly and uncontrollably. The crowd audibly gasps as one. The entrancing song of this girl bringing every person into this music. The devil toad stops struggling against the chains, seemingly caught by the sound of her voice. Its face drops into a soft smile as it slowly walks toward the base of the pole and sits. The half-orc and the fool drop the chains and back away, leaving the beast free in this rapture. Her voice almost begins to summon a chorus from the ether, nearly magical in nature, as there are no others but her joining into this piece. Her smile is infectious, and you can't tear your eyes away. You only now realize the tears down your cheeks, but you cannot break your gaze. From the front row of the audience on the left, a man stands up, his arms outstretched towards her. His dirty cloak falls away, his face and skin racked with age, and you see his legs shaking as he stands, his cheeks wet with tears. He shouts, "Ah!" His arms drop and clutch his chest. He gurgles a burst of vocal pain once more, and the folks nearest to him begin to lean away as he begins to shake. You glance over as the old man yells out once more, as the skin on his arm suddenly begins to tear, the bones splitting from the flesh, writhing and cracking. Dust and blood shake from his wounds as his form swells. Screams begin to ring out from the audience around him, people rising up and running for the exit. Chaos breaks into the room around you. Toya's song abruptly ends, the little girl looking down with fright in her eyes, the devil toad glancing about worriedly, the half-orc and the fool rushing up beside him to look at the transforming man. The half-orc yells, escorting patrons to the exit, "Everyone, leave the tent now! Kylery," as he points to the devil toad, "get her to safety!" The devil toad glances up and leaps with a sudden gust of strength to the top and grabs the center pole of the room as it begins to almost quiver to his weight. He grabs the little girl safely under his arm and leaps back down. What are you all doing?
I invoke duplicity.
You watch as her form suddenly dissipates into multiple, seemingly copies of her form of Jester.
Yasha, we're gonna need those weapons back.
I turn to Molly Mock. I go, I thought it was kind of lame at first, but this is awesome.
Everyone get out right now.
This isn't part of the
Not
show?
part of the show.
I thought this was like really good.
People
It's
are
too
promoting the show. Do
artsy,
they always
you know?
turn into
It's very
monsters?
artsy.
It's too artsy for me.
Yasha, weapons. Yes.
The old man's body stops quaking, his flesh now gray and mangled like an ancient tree trunk. He turns, his eyes blood red and bulging, his lips curled into a horrifying grimace. The two Crownsguard begin to try and make their way through the panicked crowd, but the people, like a wave of chaos, are keeping them at bay. I need everyone to roll initiative. Top of the round, as this creature turns and kind of glares about in the area, this swollen form over here to the side. That's what remains of the old man who had stood up in the center of the chamber. Jester, you're up first.
Who's fighting?
Okay. Well, I'm just gonna go for it, all right? I'm gonna cast Guiding Bolt on the monster that just appeared.
Okay, as it turns towards you. It's
18 damage.
4d6.
And then I'm going to run the opposite direction away from him, but I'm gonna keep my duplicate up there.
actually do this. Did you do your duplicate wherever you want?
Okay.
Wherever you want to move it from where you are.
Okay.
So she moves there.
So she's going to stay here.
Oh my.
And Jester, I can't reach that far, but.
Oh,
Oh shit! Sorry.
Miniature.
Let me know where. Okay. There.
Sorry. I didn't realize it was like.
You can get there is the closest. the furthest
Okay,
way
that
you
sounds
can
good.
go. Okay, so that ends your turn. At the top of your turn, this creature closest to one of the people nearby, screaming. This young woman who's trying to back away. She just turns toward her and grabs and tries to tear into her. That'll do it. So with 8 points of bludgeoning damage, it reaches down and slams its fist into her chest, and as it does, she kind of gives out this horrible yelp as it kind of rips into her and begins gnawing into her flesh and pulls away with a mouthful of it and then stands up, its eyes now scanning the room for the next possible victim. It's going to begin to stalk forward. Coming up to that guy. All right, Yasha, your turn.
Okay. I'll pass my weapons out for this turn.
Okay, so you'll spend your action kind of throwing them out to
Yeah.
the individual. So your short sword and crossbow kind of clatter to the ground and you quickly scramble to grab them. Caleb's dagger falls at his foot. Your staff gets tossed quickly from behind you. Your falchion meets your arm.
Falchion.
All right, that ends Yasha's turn. Ford, you're up.
Can I run up with the falchion
You may.
within melee?
You actually walk through.
Oh, that's a falchion.
You rush through Jester's form. You watch the kind of image kind of dissipate as you kind of charge through it and meet up right face to face with this large, kind of gnarled, horrible-looking creature. What are you doing?
Ripping the falchion, can I swing into the creature?
You may.
8, 9, 10, 11.
11 points of damage.
You got like a dozen hit points. We'll be okay.
Yeah.
I almost died last week.
Alrighty, that ends your turn.
That's it.
All right, you're done. That brings us to Caleb.
I would like to use my movement to push as far into the crowd as I can.
Okay, going through the crowd is
half movement.
It's half
and
movement.
That's
It is
fine.
considered rough
Sure.
terrain. So
I
you
just want people in front of me.
push through
my
to about
God.
there. You end up like pushing a kid out of the way.
That's great.
Right.
That's exactly fine with me. And I will pull out the diamond and cast Chromatic Orb. And
What?
I will send a ball of cold at the creature that Fjord.
All right.
That is 9.
Microvision.
9 of cold.
Nine cold. All right, very well done, Caleb.
Cold damage, yeah.
I like it.
Now is the
Okay.
part where we dance.
So as you turn, as you push the child out of the way, putting your pocketed diamond out in front of you, you focus and you watch as this beam of light blue energy streaks past, just barely coasting between a few heads. It slams into this creature as crystals kind of form where the wound and impact was. It cracks back into place where it was. End of your turn?
That's good, I'm great.
All right, Not, you're up.
Okay, having seen the beautiful dwarven girl, was it?
Yeah.
Who sang and soothed a monster earlier in the show, I'm going to attempt to sing and soothe this monster.
Okay.
So I step forward and I open my mouth and I say, and I will always soothe you.
Can I shoot an arrow at?
He's killing the memory of Scarecrow.
As you're singing out this discordant sound, nearby folks are covering their ears and glancing back and looking in surprise at this strange creature giving off this.
Does it
this
die?
horrible- No, however, it now ever taking a few hits nearby, its red eyes, or at least one red eye, like slips over to look in your direction. That's as much of an effect. Fuck! You want to move or are you going to stay there?
Yes, I'm gonna move and I'm gonna dash behind somebody in the crowd, some weak-looking individual.
Okay. You can get behind there.
Yes, that
Okay.
sounds good.
All right.
That's
that
our
ends
MO, baby.
Bob, you're up.
Oh shit. Okay.
Do it.
To kind of like RP my tragic one on the first fucking battle. A little bit. I'm just gonna kind of turn to everybody and go, guys, it's part of the show. Molly said that like people die, like she was just a clack. Okay, and then I run and I'm gonna kind of like tackle the zombie guy.
You attempt with your first strike, and the creature just breaks away. Its strength is far more than you imagined it would be from what was originally a very kind of elderly-looking frame.
I go, oh, fuck that. I don't know if that's true. And I'm gonna do a flurry of blows and do two pop. 11 points of damage. Pop.
Between both?
Yep.
Great. So after the grapple fails and it pushes you away, you go ahead and pull back and then leap, kick it in the chest, and then uppercut it in the chin.
Yeah, that's cool. That sounds really cool.
It looks back towards you. So that would be putting you up base to base with it there. Alrighty. Ending your turn?
Yep.
Okay, at that point, the crowd is now screaming and begins to swell and push in this direction. These folks all begin to run back and around this way. This crowd begins to push. The guards are trying to push forward, and they can only get a little ways forward to there and there. Everyone just shifts out this direction.
God, somebody's gonna
Almost
get
push.
trampled.
It's really a hazard. They should have had more exits.
I mean, it's a fire hazard.
Yeah.
Caleb and Not, I need you both to make dexterity saving throws. All right, you've both managed to just bob and weave through the crowd to prevent being trampled and kind of backing away from the chaos as people are pushing through. The entrance is too small for everyone to leave, and there's now a giant bottleneck that's beginning to push up as people are now screaming and trying to get out. They're crying, and the chaos is just swelling into this absolute cacophony. As soon as that finishes, the devil toad carrying the dwarven girl who was given a decree exits out the back with her to get her to safety. These two begin to slowly back away, seeing that at least things seem to be handled, and the guard's making its way and are like looking scared at each other and not really knowing what to make of the current chaos. At that point, you watch as the woman whose chest was torn into by this creature suddenly snaps up into place.
Oh shit.
Oh. Okay, we have to keep them from being dead.
Okay.
All right.
So Molly, you go ahead and go your turn as well. My apologies.
I'm going to yell to the back, open the tent wide, and I'm going to run around and see if I can flank that creature, if I can move towards flanking that creature with the other two.
5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. You can't really flank it, but you can get next to it.
All right, can I get close enough to take a shot?
You can, yeah.
Um,
So you kind
Take a shot.
of dodge through.
well,
Old
take
habit.
the old habit. Old habits run deep.
What you do, Molly?
As a bonus, I'm flipping it out, and I'm going to activate the first sword.
Okay, so you watch as Molly pulls the scimitar out and kind of, as he unsheathes it, draws it across the side of his exposed chest, causing a little bit of blood to kind of spill out. And as it does, he pulls the blade out, and you watch as the edge suddenly, ice crystals begin to build on the outside of the blade.
And I'm taking a shot at the creature. That's 8 points of damage and 1 point of ice damage.
Okay, so 9 points of damage in the first strike. Yep.
That was my bonus.
Oh, sorry, your bonus. Yeah,
burn,
that's it. That's all you got.
Yep.
Okay, so one strike, you just cut across, and you watch as you cut this wide wound open, and kind of exposing the fleshy organs interior, but they're frozen where the wound cut through, and it's still holding it together. It's looking like it's starting to hurt a bit and fall apart slightly.
This is the bigger monster?
So
Yeah.
I'm fine?
Yes.
All right.
So that ends your turn, Molly. Brings us to the top. So Jester, sorry, back to you.
I'm going to say to the air and say, dude, are you here? Because this is like the coolest shit we've ever seen. And then I'm going to cast Toll the Dead on the first zombie creature guy. And there's a bell that tolls around it. Oh, 3. That's lame.
Yeah.
3 points of necrotic damage. So as this suddenly this deep kind of temple bell boom rings out in the air above, you watch as this creature who has turned and is beginning to just wail upon the surrounding allies that are curling at its sides. It kind of seems to retract from the sound and cover its ears briefly before angrily begin lashing out in
And
reaction.
I made that sound like it was coming from my duplicate.
Correct.
And my duplicate's going to run back a little bit and stand next to the pole.
There?
Yeah.
Okay. Cool.
Man.
Is that your turn?
Yes?
All right. The standing creature that's now been kind of sliced, bludgeoned, and wounded by all three of you is going to go ahead and make 2 strikes at Beauregard. It swings at you twice, both of its giant, massive clawed fists just kind of striking out towards you. 9 points of bludgeoning damage.
Okay.
This first one just wham slams you in the chest. You feel the wind knocked out of you for a brief second. The second swing is going to come at you. That's 6 points of bludgeoning damage to you.
That's rough.
Wow.
Girl.
Don't worry about it. I'm bad.
After it slams into you once with the fist, and the other one grabs into your stomach abdomen region. The claws kind of dig in, and its jaw unhinges and slightly drops like a snake's.
I
lashing
turn
around.
it forward and I go, I'm not a clack. This show's bullshit.
The other one is going to rush forward towards you, Molly Mock, as you're the closest one to it, and is going to take one swing at you.
Yeah, no.
Oh, what do you know?
I'm going to use Blood Maledict.
Okay.
For this. So, yeah.
Malady.
Okay, so you're using a
Yeah,
reaction.
I'm using my reaction for Blood
We
Maledict.
don't have to roll anything for it. He just has disadvantage on the strike.
Oh, that's right. 'cause I'm not.
Yep.
I'm not doubling it up.
That'll do it. He rolled a 16 and then a 4.
Yep. Never mind.
So as it swings towards you, you watch as suddenly the reddish burning eyes of the second creature go black, and it goes way too wide and misses you. You easily duck out of the way with its first strike. As it runs past towards you this way, you get an attack of opportunity as it leaves your attack range to attempt to swing around Molly for a second strike. Go for it.
That is 16.
16 hits. Go roll damage.
Nice.
Yes, sir.
That's 12 points of damage.
12 points of damage. With that, with this brief opening as it rushes past Molly Mock, after its eyes go black, you watch as it kind of stumbles, its vision ruined. With that moment, you swing out with your falchion. Thank you. I was like, yeah, it's a falchion. That's right. And just strike across the back of its shoulder. You see this once was this kind of beautiful young woman is now this swollen, horrible, undead form lumbering past, and you just cut this heavy chunk of meat off of its shoulder. It curves around and makes a second strike at you, Molly Mock. 8 points of bludgeoning damage. As the first one, you manage to move out of the way, and as you spin your scimitar around, glance over just in time to have it clock you right across the jaw. Your vision kind of blurs and doubles for a second. That's going to end their turn. Yasha, you're up.
All right, Yasha. Come on.
Okay.
Let's go.
Yeah.
Can I get to that? Can I get to the big beast?
Yes,
Beast number 1.
The big beast?
5, 10, 15,
Big beast.
20,
Big beast
25.
Perfect.
Yeah, through
Okay,
there.
so
You
this
can
is
get
the
to
first
there.
time I've done this, so hopefully I won't do this wrong.
I'm going to punch.
I would like to rage. I'm gonna workshop it. I'll find something later.
No, I like it. I like
For
it.
now, it's a placeholder. Okay, so I'd like to rage.
So
Wait,
you
and
aim-
reckless attack. Ooh, 13.
Smaller searches of
13 puts on the one that's already been damaged.
Yeah.
All right.
The first guy.
Yeah. All right. So that strike.
Get the fuck out of my tent!
Oh, shit.
That was intense.
Yeah. No, it does not make this.
Whole thing's
It rolled.
It's a big one.
Yeah. So, as you come down with your blade and carve through its body, you watch as it kind of curls back, trying to reform and hold itself, but your blow is too strong, and its zombie-ish form could not maintain a cohesive hold on its form, and you watch as it just crumbles to the ground, no longer moving. Not making this here.
Okay.
All right, so that ends your turn. As you're there, kind of growling animalistically towards the creature.
Ooh, that feels fun. I think I like
You have about 5 more feet of movement if you wanted to move.
Okay. closer to it.
Yeah, smaller
Smaller
one.
one.
Okay.
All right, that ends your turn, Yasha. Ford, you're up.
I'll say, shit. And I'll turn and head towards other tree zombie. Fuck.
Okay.
Yep. I would like to use my bonus action to cast Hex on it.
Okay. So you watch as Ford kind of lumbers towards his large armored half-elk form, holding the blade in his hand, puts his hand out, and the shadows suddenly swirl and gather around this zombified woman's form and cling to it like it's holding it in place. So, with it now hexed, what would you like to do?
I would like to use my falchion to open it the fuck up.
All right, go for it. 17 points of
Whoa,
damage.
jeez. Level 2. That's major.
So as you rush up after the shadows gather around it looks up to you. And it pulls back ready to strike, and you just kind of shake your head and one large swipe of your falchion carved this giant mark across its chest. Where the cloth and flesh kind of opens, you can see this kind of blackened interior as the muscles are trying to move almost like worms to regather and tighten. All right, that ends your turn. That brings us to Caleb.
All right, I know that it's restricted movement, but I will push this way through the crowd so that I have a clearer shot as far as I can, and then I will re-up with Chromatic Orb.
30, you can push right about there. You just barely pull through the crowd to the front to get a clear view
I
of it.
certainly don't want to do that. I want to stay in the crowd, behind people, and I will do Chromatic Orb again, but this time I'm going to set it to acid. So let's see if we hit. Oh, that's not good. It's 11.
11 unfortunately does not.
Scheiße, okay. So
9.
That's it.
All right. So as you pull it a second time, you're pushing through the crowd, and you pull up your diamond. And right as you're about to release the spell, one of the people in the crowd like slams into you with their shoulder, and you kind of dart off to the side. The acid bolt of the chromatic orb flies off and actually burns a hole through the distant tent, and then vanishes into the night sky.
Hope that didn't hit anyone.
All right, that ends your turn, Caleb. Not, you're up.
Do I have eyes on the biggie?
You do.
And is Fjord right next to him
Ford
or her?
and Mollymock are both next to it. Yes.
All right, I'm gonna just peek out behind whatever patron I'm next to, take out my little crossbow and just shoot a little shot.
Go for it.
Is it made of?
That's 14 points of damage.
Okay. Okay. As you pull around the corner and release your one crossbow bolt, it hits the bottom of the chin and pokes out one of the eyes. The eye just goes flying off in the distance as the bolt is now jammed outside of the socket. The creature turns, kind of glancing your direction. It looks pretty hurt, but it's still standing.
Can I use the rest of my action movement, whatever bonus, to look at the patron I'm next to? Do they have any baubles or jewelry on them?
In this
Amazing.
I'll say you can use your bonus action to
Just looking.
to just look.
Just looking.
I think you can do this turn, but next
Yeah.
turn you could have done. So go
they have any?
make a perception check.
Oh, it's just 9.
9. It's hard to look. You see this what looks to be a late 30s woman dressed in some sort of a general workers clothing with like a loose apron, and she's just running and scrambling to make towards the exit. You don't see anything of worth on her, unfortunately. Sorry.
That's it.
All right, now that it's your turn. Molly, you're up.
I'm still engaged with it, right?
You are.
Okay, I'm just gonna take 2 swipes.
Okay, so you spin around. You pull your second scimitar out as part of the strike. One of them encased in ice crystals.
So 9 points.
9 points of damage. All right.
The other one is 4 points of damage.
Okay. So the first strike hits, and as the scimitar carves through, the body like snaps and opens, and it snaps back into place. The torso kind of locking back in. The second strike was how much damage?
4 points of damage.
4 points of damage. Yeah. The second one hits again, and you watch as the torso kind of spins off. It looks like only the spinal column is holding it in place, but it's managing to maintain its structure as it's. That ends your turn.
Someone? Anyone? Yep.
All right, ending Mollymock's turn. That brings us to Bo.
Bo, you got this.
Come on, Bo.
In response to him, I say, I thought You said you didn't let in the sick.
Just kill it!
Jeez. And I come up and I want to do like a flying Superman. Kaboom.
Yeah!
6 damage.
6 points of damage. Natural 20. You watch as you sock it in the face and the jaw kind of breaks and then snaps back into place. As you land, pulling it back, you can see some of the teeth are actually stuck in your fist as you pull back and broken off into your knuckles.
I go, oh, come on. I'm going to use my other key point to do flurry of blows again.
Go for it.
And
Two
I'm
more
gonna
strikes.
like try and punch him right in the bridge, like with what's his teeth
With the
over my
remainder
face.
of
With the
his teeth.
remainder of his teeth.
Your teeth, technically.
Put it
This,
back.
is, this is the woman that was killed originally.
Oh, I'll be like, you were so pretty too.
Go for it.
13 damage.
Okay. Natural 1, no. So the first, this is the second punch. You swing wide and hit the side of the head, and the neck kind of snaps, and it's now stuck in a sideways position as it turns. The jaw, it pulls back. One of its like weirdly swollen clawed hands, ready to go ahead and go for that like open wound in your gut. And as it does, how do you want to do this?
First blood.
I'll like do the uppercut with the other one and the one that has like its teeth in it. I want to go kind of right in between the bridge of the nose and like get the teeth right in the eyes and kind of just like break the nose bridge kind of into the brain.
All right.
You know that thing? Yeah.
And as you do that, wham! You slam into its face. You watch as the skull caves in, the teeth piercing both of the red, bulging eyes, and with this horrible sucking, kind of sighing sound, it falls onto its back, no longer moving. The shadow's released.
I like grab my gash and fucked up ribs and then immediately turn over me. Can I like do a perception check or an insight check on any of the ringleaders? On any of what was going on? The ringleader or the jester?
That was your turn, unfortunately.
Okay.
That's your turn.
That's fair.
Okay, at this point, the current threats are down, and the crowd is just screaming and rushing. The two members of the Crown's Guard are rushed to the front, weapons ready, and they see both of these creatures bloodied and ruined across the base of this. In the midst of the chaos, one of them points out and goes like, You! Stay where you are! And you watch as the rest of the crowd slowly pushes through. You see as Gustav manages to make his way in and goes like, Dear God, what's happened here? Looks over towards Bo, the breaker, the half-orc who's now joined the rest of you, and goes, Sir, I don't know how I got in here. And everyone kind of looks around, back at you. Bo looks to you. Gustav looks at you, Molly. What happened?
One of them turned. I don't know what happened.
There was a sick guy. There was an old sick guy, and he turned into a zombie. And I run over and I cast Cure Wounds on Bo.
Oh, thank you, man. I'm pretty down.
Whoa.
Are you sick too?
I would say
Did you
no.
get hurt?
I'm a little. I'm bloody.
Hold on 2 seconds. I'm going to cure her, and then I'll cure you too.
Gosh, have you ever seen anything like this happen before?
No. Never.
There you go.
No one may ever.
7 points. That's all I could cure.
That's amazing.
great.
That's great.
All of the
then-
I'm
points.
gonna drop my sword.
Ooh, that's better for you. 10 for you.
Oh, yep. That'll help.
Okay. At this point, the two Crown's Guard that are there are trying desperately to maintain control. But you can see they're visibly shaken, and they look glance at each other like they're a little out of their depths at the moment. It's like, stay where you are! Don't go anywhere!
I don't know wherever will I go.
And he turns to the one who's at the front, looks to the other one who just made his way through and goes, So Veman, find someone! Bring the rest of the guard, please! Right, sir. And he goes ahead and pushes his way towards the back as the rest of the crowd just runs out. Now
scatter with the crowd.
everyone in the crowd has mostly pushed out of the tent. The last few dregs are pushing through. Children crying, people who of Trostamol just exiting out the flaps as they close. And you're all kind of standing there, weapons in your hands, wondering what to do.
What are the corpses doing now that they've fallen?
They're both unmoving, just
Changing?
ruined, torn apart, and just
Can I
no more.
search the corpse of the woman?
As you can. As you go to move to it, both of your forms kind of merge. The Crown's Guard goes like, Don't move!
Which one?
Both. He looks genuinely confused.
When I'm going, which one? I make my second form just kind of dart forward and start searching the body.
Okay. It mimics searching a body.
Yeah,
It's
shit, really
not
bad.
actually you. begins rifling imaginary things out of their pockets.
Look at all the stuff that one's finding over there.
Can you turn and look? And I try to search the other guy.
Make a deception check to try and deceive him to glance over.
Not bad.
Hey.
19.
Oh, wow.
He goes, what, over there? Looks over as you jump over quickly and begin kind of searching through it. You guys watch her do this, and there's like a clear line of sight. As soon as he turns back, he's going to notice her rifling through the other corpse.
Is Gustav still in here?
Gustav is now walking up, and he's like, hands up in the air, and is like, I'm terribly sorry. This has never happened. I don't know what happened. What happened?
We've never seen anything like it before. He gripped his heart and fell over and turned into that thing.
It was when.
What's with the?
It was when Toya started singing.
Yeah. What's with the dwarven girl? Why?
Nothing like this.
No, she's been singing with us for over 2 years now.
How'd she come to you? She's a pretty young girl.
She had no family, and she was singing in the street for change, and there was an opportunity. We seized it. We gave her a family she didn't have.
Put your hands down.
The Crown Guard was like, it's fine, just don't move.
Did I find anything?
Make an investigation check.
She uses a different dice for everything,
Shut
Travis? Is that what I'm dealing with now?
You're not even ready.
14.
So excited.
You managed to you rifle through the old man's body, through the stringing bits of gore. And you managed
I found some intestines.
and you do find 3 pieces of silver that are just coated in blood. A few moments pass. The rest of the people are gone, and it's just this awkward quiet. And at this point, you watch as Orna, the fire fairy who had previously performed, kind of walks in and goes like, "I'm sorry, what has happened here?"
Your little dwarf girl was singing, and she turns people into zombies.
I feel that was entirely coincidental. I'm really not sure the two things are related. We just had this. Something was wrong with this man.
See, it's interesting because I would say the opposite. I would say it wasn't that coincidental because
I would agree. It seemed to happen with the
We've seen her
Yeah.
sing dozens, hundreds of times. Nothing like this has ever happened. I've seen people sit in the front row hundreds of times. Nothing like this has ever happened.
The elderly and the sick in these tents before?
Yeah,
You
you
said
also
it's forbidden?
happen to be very explicit on your page that you don't want the sick.
Good
so
stuff.
And at this motion, Gustav goes, "It's generally just because we want to promote a space of welcoming cleanliness, and when we're working amongst the outskirts of the Empire, we don't want to bring an element that reminds you of death and
You hate
adventure.
old people so much.
Well, we're just
People hate old
we're in
people. We're
entertainment. We have to be cautious." The single Crown's Guard guy is sitting there with his weapon out. It's just like you can see him like shaking almost. He's never had to deal with anything like this before, and he's like,
Hold up. I've never seen that one before. He looks really suspicious.
towards him.
No, the guy behind him.
He does look suspicious.
Make a deception check.
Sure. 8.
He goes, "Don't try that on me. I've been doing this for over 10 years.
I can tell.
I cast
Oh, wait, look at him.
thaumaturgy. Yeah, I cast thaumaturgy and make it sound like there's a sound coming from behind him too.
Make a sleight of hand check to see if you can cast the spell subtly enough for him not to notice.
Poor guard.
Natural one.
Oh, as you attempt to cast the spell, a little bit of spittle gets caught in your windpipe, and you begin to cough uncontrollably. It just falls away.
She's not associated
There's
with
a
that.
popcorn that I ate earlier.
Where'd that go?
You should know that whatever happened to that first man, when he attacked the woman, she caught whatever he had.
And that is extremely worrying. Nobody touched that body. And he looks back and sees you coughing over the corpse of the guy. He's like, don't touch that body! Are you sick?
Have bloody fingers as I.
Someone hold her down. If she's sick, it turns into one of these. I will not suddenly someone cut you.
She's fine. Just calm down.
Oh, we've already killed 2 of them.
He's definitely sick.
Make a deception check.
Definitely turning sick.
Oh, it's
cocked.
cocked, unfortunately. That was a good one. Oh, well. 16?
16. His face goes white and he goes, "Kill the thing!" and rushes forward, blade held above.
I
I
run to
take out my
intercept.
greatsword.
I run to intercept.
You're gonna kill a guard?
Stop.
He kind of holds back. He turns to you and sees you standing like a full 4 inches taller than him with a much larger blade and goes like, with one hand even. He goes like, "Look, if she's going to become one of these things, we have to stop her now."
Yasha will totally kill me. Don't worry, you can leave.
Jester, jokes are great until they get you killed. Man, she's joking. She's joking.
And he like rubs his eyes. You can see him like now that he's closer to you, you can see he's sweating. He's scared. He's generally trying the best he can to use whatever training he's received to deal with a scenario he was not trained for.
This is the King's Guard guy?
One of the Crown's Guard. The Crown's Guard
Crown's
are
Guard.
yeah, they're all generally hired and trained militia that are sent amongst all the cities to keep the peace.
What's your name, man?
Yeah.
Wow, he's really shook up.
Yeah,
Oh, what's James?
Flynn.
Flynn. How long you been doing this? You said 10 years?
10 years, 2 months ago.
10 years. Happy 10-year anniversary. Yeah, congrats. Did you get like a nice watch or like a commemorative tankard?
They don't have watches here.
Shit. Did you get a commemorative tankard? Forget the watch part.
No. Don't move.
I'm not moving, man. Hey. Hey,
When
Flynn.
Yeah.
Hey, Flynn. Hey, man. How about first we put the swords down because we kind of like
All of us have our
helped.
weapons down.
Yeah.
You're fine.
Are any of us high charisma?
At this point,
Because it
No.
don't seem like
No.
the
it.
flaps at the front of the tent, the entranceway, fold in, and you watch as 1, 2,
Oh, shit.
3, 4, 6, 10 Crown's Guard begin filtering into the chamber. He watches one man who, the one who has his helmet off and kind of under his shoulder. He's maybe in his early 40s or so, very short brown hair with patches of gray, somewhat jaundiced skin. Molly, you've encountered this man once before when you entered
it's
the
that
city. He approaches Gustav right now with a commanding voice. I had a gut feeling that you were nothing but trouble when you came into our town. Gustav turns around. I guarantee to you, my friend, I have no idea what happened here. The Crown's Guard has been shaking hands and goes, Sir Flynn, there was a creature, this carnival seemed to create some sort of terrible entity that killed and then created a secondary beast. I watched it with my own eyes from the back row. And the man turns back towards Gustav and the rest of you. And who else saw that?
We did.
Well, we saw an old guy turn into a zombie, but it's possible that he just died because he was old, and then he had the zombie curse on him and just turned, you know? Because that happens a lot.
Gustav, it's no use. We've been found out. Our terrible plot to make a zombie rampage through our carnival has been discovered. Whatever will we do now that we've been discovered for our brilliant plot to make a zombie ruin our circus? My
Flynn
God.
turns to you and goes like, "Put your weapons down, we will arrest you immediately!"
I'm literally holding nothing but my hands.
I mean, I'm sorry, but we're basically a group of strangers. Most of us don't know each other. We all have the same story. There was a show, an old man became a thing, and we helped destroy it. This one destroyed it. What more do you want from us?
Ruined our show.
Flynn turns back and says, "Watchmaster, what should we do?" And the man with the helmet under his arm walks forward, walks to Gustav and gives him one look over. Still a few inches shorter than him, but looks at him with a sense of purpose and social status that has a sense of disinterest and disrespect. "You, sir, and your orc, and your circus are considered currently under arrest. Who else belongs to your merry band?" He looks about at this and Gustav goes, "The orc, glances back at the two of you and goes, the rest of them are just purveyors of our performances. He was just joking earlier, right? Make a deception check.
Oh.
Oh boy.
Nope.
Oh no.
And you
Is that a 1?
Yeah,
are also under arrest.
Oh no.
Oh no.
The rest of you, what are your names?
Shirley.
Temple. Caleb Whittogast. Not supposed to tell them.
Bo, same as him.
Bo.
I am Bo.
Pointed to me.
I'm at the NPC, Bo, but it works.
Using the holodeck, man.
Here's the thing, oh, it's Mary, by the way, but, I think I know who might know what has happened here.
Do you? Tell me.
I'll have to go get her.
And who is this?
She is the singer that made this all happen.
Flynn, escort this woman to retrieve this individual she speaks of. And Flynn kind of nods and walks over towards you.
She's really shy though, and I hear she only talks to tieflings. So you should probably send
Stay where you
my brother
are.
along, because he's really good with that stuff. With that.
Try not to stab any random people on your way there, Flynn. You're doing good.
My men tell me that the rest of you helped destroy these fiends. Is that correct?
Yeah?
Yeah.
Well, then on the behalf of the Starosta, I appreciate your aid. But until this investigation is complete, you are all under investigation from us. Where are you staying?
The Nestle Nook Inn.
Good.
Nested Nook.
Yep.
Nestled.
Nestled?
Yeah, right.
Oh shit. One letter.
I have
God
an
damn
intelligence of 14. I know what I'm doing.
Hey!
Do not leave the city unless you are told otherwise. Should you do so, I have your names, and I can have the full might of the Cerberus Assembly track you down. You, Flynn, retrieve this girl. While you all stand in this tent, Flynn approaches you and kind of walks a little bit behind you, weapon drawn, but at the side. Do you lead him out of the tent? Okay. So you walk to the performer's flap, and as you walk out, you can see kind of backed up into the number of tents that are set up, and some of the carts. Other members of the circus are hiding, and as soon as you exit out the front and they see you before the Crown's Guard, they all immediately scatter and vanish into the nearby shadows out of sight. The two of you walk out into the center, kind of the fire crackling in the small pit off to the side. All right, where is this this girl you speak of?
She's in the back in the tents.
Show me.
Follow me.
Okay, he follows you. Which tent do you lead him to?
Back over here.
Over here?
Yeah.
Okay, there's a larger tent. As he walks by your side, there's the flap. It's slightly open.
I know, right?
He walks in.
Go get her. She won't talk to me. She's too scared of me.
All right. Gets his weapon ready, and he just kind of walks into the tent.
I close the tent and I take off.
Okay.
She's so smart.
There's a few moments before in the distance you hear a voice say, "The tent is empty. What are you talking about? Hello? Hello?" And you don't look back, and you just run into the darkness of night, into the marrow fields, and disappear.
But that's so mysterious.
That's ruddy mysterious.
While that was happening, I would
Ruddy
also,
mysterious.
I'm close to the edge of the tent, and at some point I just summoned Frumpkin. I have up to 30 feet outside the tent. So Frumpkin's out there.
Okay.
Within 100 feet.
Pumpkin keeps watch. The Watchmaster, as you heard him notify earlier, turns to the rest of you. So, the investigation will begin. If any information comes to light that could alleviate you of the charges brought to this carnival, come to me and let me know. If you have no answers before we complete this investigation, then I believe you all will fall into the judgment.
Next time we don't help. That's what it comes down to.
I know, we got paid the
Just
first
get the
time we
fuck out.
helped, and then we got arrested the second time. I don't know what lesson
Just
to
say
learn.
okay
from
and
this.
let's leave.
Yeah.
So, the guards escort you out of the tent. Molly, you're stuck behind with Gustav and Bo, the breaker, with a guard of 5 Crown's guards set to keep watch. As the rest of you are set to the city, the Watchmaster turns once more and says, "Remember, you flee. I'll find you." And that's where we'll end tonight's session.
Wait, what?